Thank you, Madam General Balvader, fellow Toastmasters. And thank you, Ron. So, it is always an honor to hear you speak just because you have this great presence when you come up here and you start talking. And you have this, confidence that I'm sure that most of us just strive to achieve. And as far as your story goes, you had a great structure. And we all know that was not an icebreaker, that was more of level 100, speech. So you had a great structure. You started from, telling us stories about you being a kid and how you dealt with you being an introvert and you having acne, and how that affected your relationship with some of the friends that you were having, or some of the kids that were making, fun of that. And you led from that point all the way to where you are now. And you had used great use of pauses, you had great gestures, and you really spoke with a lot of eye contact with the audience, and you nailed that part. Now, as far as the feedback goes, this is just me nitpicking, and because it was very tough for me to find something that I can really recommend. But since I have to do that anyways, I felt that the speaker of your caliber and the skill that you have in speaking, I got the feeling that you were hiding behind this podium most of the time, right? And I felt that you have all this space available. I would like to see you travel some more. And one way you can do that is, since you're telling a story from you being a kid all the way to you where you are now, you can actually use this part of the stage, you being a kid, that tells a story. Your intro, your acne and how kids are making fun of you. Then you jump to this part. Now you're found that $30,000 worth of orders, right? And this is the middle of your life, and tells a story about, how it's been to this point and what led you from actually here. Then you can move to this part where you are now part of Toastmasters. So what that does in my mind is I get this vivid picture of you moving from you as a kid to where you are now. It's so easy for me to follow. And secondly, like I said, I'm nitpicking, is I would like to see some acting. Because I felt that when you were telling the stories about, kids making fun of you, I would like to see some more passion and enthusiasm. Oh, these kids were making fun of me. Like more acting, just to have the story come across as more, stronger. And also when you got that $30,000, order, which could buy 10 cars. I mean, at that point, when you got that $30,000 worth of order, that's a big thing. That's 10 cars, right? So you just mention it as if it was not a big deal. But to me, that's the equivalent to me having $300,000, and I'll be jumping around and saying, "Oh, thank you," right? So I would have liked to see that sort of, enthusiasm in your voice. But overall, I think it was great speech, great structure, easy for me to follow, and just some of the feedback that I have. If you do that, then it's going to be level 200. But overall, always a pleasure listening to you. And thank you very much.